Good morning, Mr. Pratono. So, a few weeks ago, I had to talk about the aviation sector in India, especially with the case of Jet Airways. So, I decided to choose this subject and enlarge it in the Asian part. So, I've chosen this subject because of the rising of the aviation sector in Asia, in all the Asian country, but also because I'm passionate by aeronautics. So, firstly, I had to study the case of Jet Airways. The company is actually knowing a booming of its sector in India. Indeed, we have more and more passengers to that they travel all around the world. But in this case of Jet Airways, the government is also helping the company by building infrastructures like airports, but also reducing taxes on fuel, for instance. So now I'm gonna enlarge this subject within the Asian countries. So Boeing, the American company which is producing aircrafts, is expected a demand of 4,210 aircrafts in Southeast Asia, which is representing an important amount of money, like 543 billion euros. But also Airbus, the French company, is also predicting a rise of 7% in the next years to come. The global rising is 6.2% in aviation sector, like in Brunei, which includes Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, of course, Laos, and Thailand too. Singapore also. And the vice president, moreover, the vice president of Airbus told that he's pretty sure that infrastructures should increase and will increase in the years to come. Indeed, the aviation is the main sector that provides a motor for the tourism, because it allows transportation of millions of people. So with the rising of low cost companies like the Indonesian one, Lion Air, but also the Vietnamese one, Vietjet, AirAsia, the Malaysian one, would represent 70% of the orders for Airbus and Boeing. So they have practically almost the market, the aviation market, just for these companies. According to some articles that I've read, the demand in Asia is 4 times more superior to the European demand, but even the American demand too. And moreover, every types of aircrafts are needed, from the smallest one to the largest ones, like A747, for example, like Garuda Indonesia did. They order many big aircrafts from Airbus. With the rising of the middle class, also, I wanted to talk about this point. With the rising of the middle class in Indonesia, specifically in Indonesia, more and more people will travel all around the country. As we know that Indonesia is a vast and the world's largest archipelago. It's important to link every part of the country. I'm gonna explain it later. So personally, I want to work for Airbus and being part of the manager team for Airbus in France, and this is the reason why I've chosen to come to Indonesia, because I know that Airbus have a big opportunity to come to introduce itself in Indonesia. It's already the case, but Airbus have so many different markets. They have aircraft, but they have defense, military defense, but also helicopters. So this is the reason why Airbus have so many opportunities in Indonesia. Indeed, as I said it before, Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago in the world. So every part needs to be linked in the country by daily flights, by organizing daily flights. For example, that would be really great for tourism if there would be daily flights from Surabaya to Karimunjawa, for instance. But it's actually not the case. But I know that it will be the case in the few years to come. But now we have just like two flights from two flights for a week from Surabaya to Karimunjawa. It's just one on Thursday and one return flight on Monday. So it's not enough. It's still not enough for developing tourism. To develop tourism. So we know that Indonesia would make many efforts to develop its flight system by introducing more and more planes in their different companies like Citylink, Garuda Indonesia, but also Lion Air, and they will provide more flights, more daily flights specifically. So we also know that Airbus has settled their own company in Jakarta. They settled the Airbus helicopter company in Jakarta because the military system, but also the government, which are linked, of course, have ordered many helicopters. So Airbus decided to implement their own company in Jakarta to reduce also the economies of scale, which is important. And this has an impact and shows how Airbus is involved in the Indonesian country, in Indonesia, sorry. So this is really interesting, and I'm really happy to have chosen Indonesia as my exchange country, because I know that I will maybe have to work with Indonesia in the years to come for Airbus and link the different contracts from France to Indonesia. So thanks for listening to this presentation. I hope you will like it, and if you have some information to give me about the aviation sector in Indonesia, I would be so happy to learn from you. Thank you.